Alright, we're live. Okay, so what am I doing today? Basically, what I'm attempting to do is repair this Dalek here. And this is an 18-inch voice interactive Dalek. They were released back in 2007. And they are really sort of collector's items. I have got four, but this one is an original one that I had, that I got back in 2007. This is the one that I had got for Christmas that year. And what I need to do is on the back, here, 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 and here, there's 4 panels, so one here, one here, one here, and one here, that I have to remove in order to get to the screws, so that I can take it apart. Because the only thing that isn't working with this thing is the eye will not go up and down. The motor in that is broken, or something is wrong with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hairdryer, and not a heat gun, a hairdryer, because a heat gun may melt the plastic. And we'll see how we go from there. Alright, so I attempted this before, where I heated the plastic up on the outside. Unfortunately, this plastic, or the covers and that, are very soft plastic, they're very rubbery, so it didn't work particularly well. So what I'm going to do is open up the base and heat it up from the inside. You can't take everything apart from the base, unfortunately, because there are wires joining up, and they're very thin ribbon wires, so I don't want to risk breaking them. So what I need to do first is remove all the screws from the base. And this is going to take a bit of time. And this little I'm just going to put all the screws in there. You don't have to remove the battery compartment though. In fact, actually it's better to just keep the battery compartment in, because it's a good way to test, because you can test it with the base off but with the battery still in. So it's a good way to test to see if things are working. There's no batteries in it yet. I'm going to do it without, because obviously if I'm applying heat, batteries are the last thing I won't need this thing. Just going to screw with these. It's going to take some of those. Oh no, huge of them. The thing is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, there's 15 screws to remove on the Dalek. Look, on the base of the Dalek, which is quite a lot. That does not include the battery compartment. If the battery compartment included, it'd be 17. But as I say, you don't need to remove the battery compartment, so all good. Now, this is a very common problem with these Daleks. In fact, most of them, you'll find on eBay, will only be semi-working. And that, a lot of them, and they are hot, they're harder to find now. Is that one coming out yet? Here's another. Let's try the smaller one. See if it helps. These deeper ones are a bit more awkward to get into. But the eye and the dome turning is generally the first thing to go. Alright, I'll leave that one for now. And focus on the others. Oh yeah, I think this one's very easy to come out. You just fell. Oh, it's just a plug. Okay, it's just a plug for hairdryer. No problem. problem. Like Will Barrett is, well, he was watching. Yep. Magnetic screwdrivers. Very handy in these situations, unfortunately. The problem is with magnetic screwdrivers is either the magnet is too strong or not strong enough. And they tend to wear down over time since they're back. Fair while. Magnetism is lacking. Three more. No, 4 more. So then we should be in. Obviously the screws don't come out, sometimes you can tap the base, so just give them another few twists. There we go. These aren't getting there. So the screw out. Now I have yet to be able to repair one of these. It will just fully. It's the eye mainly that I haven't been able to repair since I cannot get to it. I've been able to repair the dome because you can actually, without taking everything apart, you can actually get to the rollers. Which is generally when they get plugged up in the motors in there. I think it's just like one screw. So what you do is grab both wheels like that and just pull up gently. Don't yank it, just pull up gently and the base should come off just like this. And you get like screw. So what you want to do is just slide it off to the side. Turn it on the side like this and just slide it off to the side. Like that. And if I just bring the camera in and shine a torch. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we've got a torch. So if I just tilt it this way, you can see there's a ribbon cable here leading from the base where the motors for the wheels are, and also the power going from the speaker and that. And there's all this circuitry up here at the top. What I'm going to do here today is these two joining sections here, I'm going to apply heat to this side here so that I heat the adhesive up from the opposite side so I don't damage anything on the outside while doing it. Is this going to work? I don't know. But let's just get the hair dry out and see if it does work. So, wish me luck. As I said, do not use a heat gun, because a heat gun will probably melt the plastic. Unless you've got a one where you can change the temperatures, then do not use a heat gun with this. I literally just knocked over all the screws in there. I'm actually just going to put all the screws in here. Keep track of these screws, obviously, because you don't want to lose them. Although, saying that, you could probably... Finding new screws for that, you know, that they're just like standard Phillips peg screws. I'm going to put these in there. Alright, see if we've got power. We do. And this will heat up the section here. I don't know if I can do that. just going to heat up the panel. I'll leave it on there for around about a minute. Obviously avoid any of the circuitry or wires, you don't want to melt them while doing it. I don't hold it on the plastic, hold it near the plastic. I'd say around about an inch away from the plastic will be enough to hopefully soften the adhesive on the other side. You will want to do this for at least a minute because this is pretty thick and pretty hard plastic. They need thick these things, you know, but although they can internally break on the outside, they are pretty damn solid. So it is getting very warm in here. A good idea is to put your hand on the other side, and once you start to feel the heat coming through on the other side, that is when you should start frying. So I can feel that coming now. So I'm going to take that out. Quickly just put the base back on. And we're going to start frying away. We're going to see if we can actually get somewhere. Okay, it's more warmer down there than it is up here, but we'll take a flathead screwdriver and just prod it in and see if we can actually get somewhere with this. Again, this adhesive is very strong, but we are getting there. Okay, so we're getting there a bit at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a screwdriver in there. Oop, it came out. Just put my thumb there. And we're slowly prying this off. So I'm actually going to put the larger screwdriver, just going to shove it in there. And the reason for that is just so that it doesn't re-adhere. And I can keep hopefully prodding. But I just heard a click, and that is not this section, but this section here. Yep. Okay, so we're doing good. We're doing good. We've got. We've got. If I just lift it up to the camera, we've got a piece off here. And it goes all the way around to this section here, and that's on both sides. So far we're doing good. What I'll do is actually I'll heat it a little bit on the outside. The key to this obviously is patience, and it is going to take some time in that, because obviously you don't want to break anything while you're doing this, so take your time. Obviously this is the only way to do it. Whether I'll be successful in getting in there, I don't know. But I am literally just heating everything up. If there was literally any other way to get into this and fix it, I would. And the reason I'm doing it on this one, obviously I have a fully working one, so this one, if the worst did come to worst, well obviously I'm going to be sad about it, but at least I still have a fully working one, which I'll put. And the good way to stop something like this from happening is to actually keep using it, keep using it to make sure the motors and doing that are turning on it so that they don't seize up. That is something that generally does happen. So just keep that up a bit here. Just to see if I can balance it on here. So check it up. Okay, got that nice and soft.
a good idea is to either start at the top or start at the bottom of it and just work your way around. So then just slowly getting in there. Okay, I can see a massive bit of where the adhesive is, like a white glue strip. So I'm going to do it for the bit of it. And obviously you don't want to tear it, it is soft rubber. It would help if, obviously it would be easier if you had two people to do this and go to the island. You know, someone to hold it. But also you want to keep your fingers away because even though this is just a hair dryer, it does get pretty good. Driver in. All I do is hold it right up to that piece of adhesive here. Just open up the flap and so I can get a bit of the adhesive there. Because it is slowly starting to give. Obviously, I've got to do this for all of the panels. It is slowly starting to give away. So it's not much. I mean, should you know, is there any? Is anyone that you can go to fix these? Not that I know of. And is there a repair guide? No, there's not. There's actually because I tried looking on the internet for times, and I only found a 30-second video where someone discovered where the screws were. That was literally it. Someone discovered where the screws were hidden. But actually open it up and attempt to repair, and there's nothing really on that. So let's see how far we get. You know, the original thing. You see how things are going from there? I'm just going to concentrate on this alarm now. Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's turn that off for a minute. I'm just standing up so I can better see what I'm doing. Oh yes, that one just broke a bit. Nice big chunk there. And this is hot. If I just move the camera closer to it again, and if I pull this back, you can see there the white bits. That is the white adhesive section, but you can see my screwdriver now goes through there, and I'm just pushing it along. You know, I'm pulling at the same time to just try and get this thing off. But we are getting there. This thing is dead rubbery though. Don't worry if the rubber goes a bit out of shape and that, you can always heat it up again, bend it back into shape. You know, that's not so much of an issue. The issue obviously would be if you were to pull a little tear it. So just be careful. You want a flathead screwdriver, and typically you want a blunt one, or one that isn't particularly too sharp. So maybe using an older screwdriver to get in at this would be better. Right, so I'm just working my way a bit at a time. This is further than I've ever got before on this, and it's still really difficult, and it's really hurting my hand getting it in these positions. But this adhesive is incredibly strong. Yeah, this is strong stuff. And obviously, once you take this off, that adhesive is no good anymore.
make your way in. Okay, nearly put the hole in there, nearly. Right, so I'm just going to push along. Just to pull it out. Let's go in a bit more here. Okay. Top. Okay, look at that, yeah, okay, the top section. Actually a rim section here. It's a slight little rim. That bit is going to be troublesome, but let's see what we can do. Just sort of jiggle it back and forth a bit. I just want to keep pushing, I mean, there's no easy way to do this. And it does require a lot of strength, and my arm is absolutely aching by doing this. And remember, do not let it react here, because obviously it's still, I mean, it's cooled down a bit, but it's still warm, and you don't want it to react here. Okay, let's see one of these. Oh yes. Oh, I shouldn't have sniffed that, but it does smell of glue. In case anyone was wondering, it does have a very glue smell to it. Alright, so we've got one section off and coming off here. And we'll just like keep going. So that's how much I've done in I don't know how much time. Just put that there. So I've been at this, it doesn't tell us how long. I've been at this, I don't know how long I've been at this for, but yeah, that's how much I've got in this amount of time, so bear this in mind. It is a long process. You need to be patient, otherwise you will damage something. You either hurt yourself or damage your Dalek. And I take no responsibility in this. You do this at your own risk, obviously. If you hurt yourself or you break your Dalek, then I'm afraid that is on you, unfortunately. Because I am taking no responsibility for you in this. You are your own person after all. So what you do with your spare time. Oh yes, there we are. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay, so that was the first strip of adhesive. I believe there's 2 strips. There we are. I've got that iron strip base, but hold it. There we are, people. That is the first strip of adhesive off. So that means we're halfway there with this one. I believe there's like 4 or 5. There's either 2 or 3 pieces. I don't know. But we'll just keep at it. Because this thing is still warm. I have heated up for maybe time. Maybe 2, well not long enough, who knows. Maybe if I'd heated it up more, it might have gone easier. In fact, I'm tempted to start heating again. There doesn't seem to be a really obvious entry point now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up again. So as I said before, when you are trying to get this off, put your screwdriver in at the top bit or the bottom, because there's actually no adhesive on that bit, so it's only around the side. It's only around sort of the middle section where it's flat. Where the adhesive is.
that this isn't at the best angle, it's difficult to show you exactly what to do, because I do put the camera any closer, and unfortunately the camera is going to be in my way. Okay, if I just move it over here a bit and just turn it. Okay, you can probably see that a little bit better actually. We'll smooth it all up. And again, leave it about an inch or so away from it. So obviously you don't want to melt the plastic and you don't want to damage the hair dryer. Let's just leave it that far away and you should be good. Now obviously I did say start from the other side, and the reason is starting from the other side starts the initial melting bit. Oh yes, this bit is coming off a bit easier now. Oh, great. Yeah, I just heard some of the adhesive cracking. So that is a good sign. Yes, and I can see my screwdriver making its way through. Yeah. So just twist it around. You just got to keep going at this. Slowly get, slowly bit by bit getting there. And get to the other side yet. I think we are either there or nearly there. Oh yes, 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 I felt it went through that bit. So, again, twist it around a bit. And pull this out. Now, obviously, a good idea would be either to put some tape or some padding around the Dalek, just so you don't scratch it while you're doing this. I'm obviously not too bothered with this because this one is like a spare one. So I'm just going at it like that. Come on. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. We are getting at this. Okay, so that's nearly there. And just go bit by bit. I think we've nearly got this one off actually. This one's coming off a lot easier than the first one. Once you've got the first one off, it's actually a lot easier from then on. Oh yes, 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 yes. Now, I have never fully done this before, simply because I didn't have any spares now, so I didn't want to risk breaking anything. Okay. But, obviously, here we are. If I can actually see visibly the first screw hole, actually, I can actually see it. And yes, I believe, yeah, I can actually pull that off now. Okay, there we go. So I don't need to completely remove it. I keep forgetting that. But you can see there, I've removed both adhesive bits. There. I don't really want to completely remove the panel because that's unnecessary. But as you can see, there's two screw holes in there, and actually what I'm going to do is just put a screwdriver in, just to, like that, just to hold it open.
But it took a lot of force to get that panel off. I initially, when I first tried this before, I started from the back and then went out. I don't know, does it really matter which one you start at? Because there are 3 bits of adhesive on there either way. I think I might start at the back with this one, simply because I've already got a bit of a lip on there. And this one is actually coming away already. Yeah, I can see that. This one is actually starting because there's no adhesive on that bit. We'll heat them up a bit. Again, same process. I'll get about an inch away. Right. You just want to be warming it up enough just to kind of melt the edges and soften it up a bit. But you do not want to be melting the plastic. Don't worry about this being in this position because once you glue it back on, because you will have to do that, and once you do glue it back on, stick it on or whatever, it'll look perfectly fine. Just heating this Dalek. We're going to get it nice and hot. Now I will be uploading this to YouTube. This is a Facebook live stream, and feel free to skip forward to yourself. So I'm literally just going to be uploading live stream. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. No, yeah, this one's coming off a lot easier. There you go. Once you get a knack at it, once you've done the first one, the others will, well, a lot easier basically. Once you get by that first one. Now, there is a piece of plastic, and it's hard to show you, but there's actually a piece of plastic attaching it to there. So I'm actually going to leave that one in place. I've just noticed there is a piece of plastic on there, so I'm going to actually start the other side. I have literally just noticed that. I didn't know that. If I show the camera, there's a piece of plastic just down there, just where above my thumb there, and I don't want to, I could probably rip that out and wouldn't make a difference though. I don't want to because that'll hold this panel on, and that'll mean less work later on. But so I'm going to go to the other side. Problem is I'm going in the opposite direction where I was going before. So it's going to be difficult to show you this, and it's going to be difficult for me because it's on the opposite side. It depends whether you're right or left-handed. If you're left-handed, then the left side of the Dalek is going to be the easier bit. If you're right-handed, the right part is going to be easier. Well, you should still be able to do both. Not that much of a deal. I'm going to try my right hand. Yeah, again, get it in there. Just the same. Oh yeah, yes. Just move it around. Be careful, I don't want to break, because you don't want to use a big screwdriver. You want to use not a very fine one, not the finest one. Sort of the one just before the smallest screwdriver that you have. because you don't want it to be too sharp, and you don't want the screwdriver to actually break or damage the Dalek. So this is why. Okay, so let's pull this that one back out. So this section here is actually looking pretty good. And there's just a bit of adhesive down here. Let's force my screwdriver in. And then I'll just force it in into there, going back by bit. Be gentle. Be gentle, maybe I should have got. It's getting there. It's getting there. It is difficult. Oh, I just felt a bit at the top come off. That's good. The top section seems to almost completely come off. It's just this bottom section here. Yeah, it seems like whoever, you know, whoever was applying the adhesive, or machine or whatever that was applying it, put it all at the bottom of this panel. But I will not give up with this. Oh, nice. This is really strong stuff, man. Looks like I'm almost putting that down and doing this. At least this way I can actually see. It's getting away at that. You know, bit by bit. Getting in there. Giving it a pull. Giving it a pull. Looks lovely, doesn't it? It's a little fun. Again, the first panel on it, getting that first adhesive panel is the most difficult. So what I'm going to do is actually go heat it up again. But exclusively at the bottom section. We are doing great. Oh yes, down on that part. Oh, oh. That one. Keep pushing back. It's right in there. Right in there. Go on. Yeah, I'll just do that up and down motion. How long are you going for? I don't know. There we go. First part. Oh. Okay. First adhesive section of the panel is up. I keep forgetting the spaces off. I should have put maybe a screw in there to hold it on. But you can see there. Well, hey, first panel bit is up. Now I could again heat it up a bit from the other side, although I don't think that's necessary by this point. And actually, yeah. Okay, I can see the first screw hole, and I just need to get to the second one. Let's see if we can. Okay, I'll do it. That is perfectly fine. Okay. So jiggle it around a bit. There, just so nothing adheres. This section here. Oh yes, yes, yes. Come on. Oh, so close to this pan. Let's see, I can feel it coming. How fast? Oh yes, we are nearly at it. Come on! You know you want to come up. I've literally taken one of the hemispheres off while doing that. Put that back on. You can see the screw hole. If I can get to the screw hole, you know, that's fine. I keep taking this one up. I'm going to leave it there for a second. Okay. Okay. First of all, I'm going to put that hemisphere back on, clip it on. They do tend to get a bit. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Those bits off, so I'm going to take those screws off. Because I can't actually see them visible. Oh. Oh dear. Okay, I wasn't meant to do that easily. But I literally just took one of the flaps off the neck section. You can see the screw hole like that. Because there was a little groove. I just put my finger in the groove. Unfortunately, I cut my nails today. I should have left them longer. I literally cut my nails just before doing this, but let's see if we can get the other one out. Actually, before I do that, let me get that panel. I can't see. It went down there, I'll find it. It's fallen behind me. This box. Unfortunately, I can't quite get to it just yet. Don't you worry. That should not be a problem for now. Okay, so these are both holding that open. And I'm going to use my smaller screwdriver. Actually, it might be a better idea to use the longer one, actually. Yes, I should probably use the longer one. Just going to shine on light. There we go. So I can see it up here. The screw is pretty far in there. So, you want a longer screwdriver. Oh yes, I'm definitely turning it. Okay, I believe that one is released. Okay, the bottom one is not quite as far back. So unscrew these screws. one out. So there is the screw. And it is actually the same size screws as the one that goes in the base. They're all the same size screws, so don't worry, you know, don't worry about remembering what order to put them back in. It doesn't matter because they're all the same screw. I'm just going to lay the Dalek flat. So, no, screw is not coming out. Alright, I'll take this one with the neck off then. Maybe if I use the smaller screwdriver. These are these screws you have to really push. Because they are enticingly. I've never been unscrewed in over a decade. Because obviously this thing is just over 10 years old now. Let's pull a little bit more. Let's just try and keep it open. The handle keeps getting in the way in that one. Actually see if this thing is actually starting to come off. Oh, it's split apart. No. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah, weirdly the one... Yeah, I managed to get this next section off. And I'm just going to put that off with the screws. But I was going to get that piece off and I'm just going to screw that right in there. Again, same size screw. Alright, so that section, yeah, it's starting to be released. Now what screws are still in there? That one. That one. Okay, they're both out on this side. It's just these two on this side that I don't want to come out. Not well go. Let's try and slot the screwdriver in. Oh! I think I've actually got the screw this time. Yeah. Give it a little bit slack. Beautiful. Right, so there's only one more screw in there. Yeah, how loose is that one? Okay, maybe if I try using this one is. There we go. Nice, all four are out. Alright, so yeah, this is how difficult just to get into the bloody thing. So now you want to do is grab on to the next section here and just pull it away gently. You can see here it's starting to come away. You know, just gently pull at the section. There we go. And there's just a few clips. And there we are, it's out. Alright, so we're going to give you a closer look. Going to give you a closer look at this. So I'm going to turn on the light so you can see here we've got the circuit board and the motors and that for the now just having a look at this here, I'm trying to determine what is the matter with the head. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly run upstairs. I'll just keep this on, just for time's sake. I'm going to run upstairs, get the batteries, I forgot to bring the batteries down. Put some batteries in him, just so I can move the head. Now I noticed there is a loose wire here. But I don't know if that is just like a ground wire or it's significant or if it's come off something. But we're going to have a look. We'll just see what the matter is with it. Alright, so I've got some batteries and the remote. Are you coming too, Bobby? Bobby, my dog, has decided to join us. This, are you going through? Come on, let me back. Say hi. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is put the batteries in the Dalek. I'm trying to do this to try and show you best. Now this thing takes 4 AA batteries and 8 D batteries. The D batteries I've got unfortunately are starting to run out of power, but they should. But I did test the batteries last night, and I know that they do have enough power to at least make all the the dome and that move and speak. But I don't know how long they will last, but you know, I'll take what I can get.
Extermination weapon must be at...
It was, I must go flick the switch or something during this. Right, I'm just going to close up my little battery box, which is full of batteries. I'm just going to put this panel back on, just so the batteries obviously don't fall out. Right, that should do it. Alright, so let's just make sure everything's working.
We are the supreme beings.
Alright, so if we take a look at it from the back, you can see here all the mechanisms and that, and the motor for the head turning just there. But I want to... Now, if it's a head motor, and then you can get access to it here. It may just need a bit of oiling, or a bit of grease on it to make it work again. Who knows? Look. Now, what I want to know is why the eye will not move up and down. And that's my dog crying away. Okay, so I can see the section here, and all the wires are connected up to it. I'm just wondering where its motor is, and I believe it could be in the dome, but it is very small. And I don't really want to remove the dome particularly, because by this point obviously you can take all the circuitry out. I'm just going to... But actually the Dalek could technically do a 360 now. So I'm just going to move the dome to here and turn him off. I'm going to let my dog out of here. Go on then. I'm just going to move the dome there, just so I can see what's happening now. Yes, it's working out what the issue is really difficult, but okay. Right, so I believe that must be the motor. Yes, I think, yeah, I found where the motor is, and unfortunately I won't be able to really show you this on camera. If I turn the camera's light on, you might be able to see it. It's just up here. This white section is part of it, and the motor is just there. That is where the motor is. That'd be nice if you have a bit more light. So that is where the motor is. And I'm just wondering... I'll take a look at the other side actually. I can't see it away because there are two screws there, and I don't know how to access it. Now, if I take a look at it straight on. I just torch through there. Okay, so that's... I'm just trying to see what's everything's going on before I remove anything. So that must turn around. There, to move the eye up and down. Just wondering whether if it's cogged up or not, because if it is, if I manually push it a bit, that might release it. So I'll just take my flathead. Unfortunately, oh dear. I just dropped my lights inside the Dalek. But don't worry, I already took the base off, so I got it back. So what I'm going to try and do is manually move this section up here, and it's difficult to see. And I need to hold. You need like 5 hands to do this. One of these guys. Okay, just to see the motor there. And this piece is keeping us on. Right, I've got a plan. I think I'll remove these 2 screws at the top here. These 2 at the top. I'll remove those 2 screws, and hopefully that will give me access to that compartment there. I'll use my smaller screwdriver. But what I'm just going to do is just remove them. It appears if I do remove them, and I'm not harming these. They are very stiff though. All I can think of is actually to put the Dalek on its head. I don't want to do this. It seems like the only way to actually do it at the minute. Just put the guy on his head. Okay, once I've got it going a bit, I'm just going to manually twist it off. So that's 1. Now, if you do have a broken... low power. Okay. If you do have a broken speaker, or a broken